Welcome to the CAB Builder video tutorial series. This video is an instructional overview of CAB Builder's Wireframe Editor. The Wireframe Editor is the tool you will utilize to customize your cabinets. It can be used to customize cabinets on the fly while designing, or to create permanent customized cabinets in a specific catalog. You will find the Wireframe Editor within two of the CAB Builder modules. The first is in the Design module. This will allow you to edit and customize cabinets on the fly when designing a floor plan. To access the Wireframe Editor here, select the cabinet you would like to customize. Then navigate to the Attributes window on the right. Select the Open Cabinet Wireframe Editor icon at the top right corner of the preview panel. The second location you will have access to the Wireframe Editor is in the Catalog Builder module. Utilizing the Wireframe Editor here will allow you to permanently alter the configuration of a cabinet within a catalog, or create a new cabinet within a catalog. To access the Wireframe Editor here, first select a catalog to modify from the menu. Select the Edit Catalog icon. Then navigate through the category tree to locate the desired cabinet to modify. The Attributes panel will display the selected cabinet. Then, click the Edit Wireframe button in the preview panel. Regardless of where you are utilizing the Wireframe Editor, the controls will function in the same manner. First, let's look at the layout of the Wireframe Editor screen. To the left, you will be able to select the case construction and any of the constituent parts for alteration. In the middle panel is where you will adjust the attributes for the cabinet or for a selected element. The right side area will contain the 3D preview of the cabinet and your wireframe control icons. In the left panel, utilize the drop-down menu to select the construction method. Leaving this at the default means the cabinet will adopt whatever construction method you enable within your job design. Selecting any other method means an override is created, meaning this cabinet will use that construction method instead of the one you chose in the global options. This can be useful for one-off cabinets that differ in construction from the rest. Below the drop-down menu are additional icons. The plus sign icon, when selected, will expand all sub-elements. The minus sign will collapse them. The funnel icon will provide a drop-down menu that will allow you to filter constituent parts to be shown in the list. You may choose from Show All, Only Composite, Only Singled, Hide Horizontal Items, or Hide Vertical Items. Click on the plus icon next to an element to reveal its constituent sub-elements. Selected components are outlined in red in the 3D view. You may hide an element and its sub-elements by enabling the eye-shaped Hide button. This only temporarily hides the parts from view for easier viewing of underlying construction, so they will be still present in the cabinet's construction. Disable the hiding by clicking on the same icon. Parts are organized based on their construction type. Case parts is made of general carcass parts such as tops, bottoms, backs, and sides. Fronts list front type elements like doors, drawers, and face frame pieces. Doors and drawers can be thought of as a subsection of fronts because it specifically lists non-face frame front parts, but it is useful to keep them under their own section. Interior parts will show the elements inside the cabinet, such as partitions, shelves, and inside rollouts. Toe kick parts list individual toe kick pieces that are not integrated into case parts, such as the front toe kick and sleepers. Selecting the cabinet SKU from the left column enables you to change general cabinet attributes. Here, you may change the cabinet's SKU, description, and overall dimensions. You may change the width, height, or depth by either typing in a new dimension or by using the adjacent plus and minus buttons. The left buttons increase or decrease the number by 1, and the right buttons will adjust in increments set by your menu's unit precision. Clicking on the case part elements allow you to change the top construction type. Changing attributes within the wireframe will act as an override against the defaults set by the chosen global options. So only override attributes when you know it cannot be changed for all cabinets within construction methods or material assignments. Case parts also allows you to enable or disable the bottom panel by using the adjacent checkbox. Select the top construction to view its overall pre-joint dimensions in the Attributes column. Here, you may also change the material assignment to the top pieces. To do so, click on the 3 dots button to the right of the Material field. This will launch the Material Selector menu. Use the drop-down list to list the appropriate material group. Then select the material and click OK to apply the override. Note that this acts as an override to the material assigned by the Material Assignment global option. So only use this function when this particular piece must change from its normal form. Every element will have material override and read-only dimensions in its attributes. Select the bottom panel element for the same basic controls. Selecting a back or side allows you to change its construction type. This can be one of the 5 side constructions: finished side, unfinished side, side panel, side applied door, false door, and subside. It can also be one of the 3 back types: finished, unfinished, and clip backs. Both sides and backs can change their scribe attributes. The last construction type you can change a case part to is the front. Doing so will make that face a front, automatically making it an open front element and adding a face frame when not using a frameless method. This will also shift the case part from the case part section to the fronts section. The fronts category allows access to the cabinet's face frame and other front type elements. Clicking on Frame allows you to configure outer frame part joints, be it long rails, long stiles, or the middle ground defined by a miter joint. Select a frame sub-element to modify its individual attributes, including part width, adjustments to location, and extension of stiles. Click on any front type part to change its construction. If you specify a drawer, then the drawer front and corresponding drawer box are created. You may change the opening position, placement, quantity, and type of knob to be used for the front, the drawer guide assigned to the box, inset adjustment for the front, reveal or overlay settings, and whether or not the center drawer front panel is made of glass. Select the drawer box sub-element to access drawer box related parameters like construction method, box depth, and applied clearances. Change the front element, a base style door construction, to construct a door. The door style will be derived from the selected base door construction global option. You may edit the door's opening position, hinge type, position and quantity, knob position and type, inset adjustment, reveal and overlay calculation, whether to add mullions or glass panels, and whether it is a paired or separate door. The wall style door type will do the same, except it will adopt the wall door construction options instead. Open front element type is defined by an open space. Choose false base style door, false wall style door, or false drawer to create the false front equivalent of these elements. Plain panel will make a flat panel piece inset between the surrounding front elements. The next category of doors and drawers list the same sub-elements as fronts, but without the face frame. Interior parts will list the interior elements. Horizontal elements can change their constructions to simple, fixed, adjustable, or roll-out shelves, roll-out trays, drawer stretcher, or empty shelves. Simple, fixed, and adjustable shelves can change their position value, adjustment from the cabinet's front, and may initialize bullnoses and shelf nailers as sub-elements. The bullnose sub-element can change their alignment to be flush at the top and bottom of the shelf. If either flush bottom or flush top is chosen, then you may change the bullnose height to the desired dimension. Rollout shelves have the same overall controls, with the additional adjustment to the back and the ability to choose what drawer guide is used and to what extension it is opened. Rollout tray works in the same manner, but an internal drawer box is used instead of a shelf. Drawer stretcher creates a stretcher used to strengthen frameless cabinets. This is separate from the top stretcher. Its front adjustment will change its width relative to the cabinet front origin. Finally, an empty shelf will create an empty horizontal element. This can be used as boundaries for interior vertical elements, as well as the adjustable shelf holes. Vertical interior elements can change their type to partition, double partition, divider, drawer partition, interior styles, and empty partition. The partition is defined by a single vertical interior panel. Its attributes can change position value and adjustments from front, back, and top. If the partition touches either the top or bottom of the cabinet, it has access to extend the partition past these boundaries. Double partition has the same properties as the partition, except it is defined by two panels instead of one. Divider is very similar to the partition. Same controls, but different purpose within the cabinet constructions. Drawer partitions are the same as partitions, but they are usually placed in between drawer boxes to provide contact points for drawer guides. Interior styles are defined by interior vertical elements and their supports. They are intended to provide mounting points for all internal rollout boxes. The direction parameter defines where the styles are extended to relative to the vertical element's position. You may also change the style quantity and their positions relative to the cabinet front. Selecting either the internal style sub-element or its support allows you to enable or disable the support plank. Under internal style, you may also change its position from the front. Empty partitions, like empty shelves, are defined by an empty element. This can be used to create boundaries for shelves and other horizontal interior elements. Click on the toe kick parts category to access toe kick controls. Here, you can change from toe kick to legs, to toe kick and legs, or to none, making it a full-height cabinet. If toe kick is enabled, you may choose the overall toe kick height. You will also be able to change recess depths and toe kick construction type on each cabinet case part. Notched end will integrate the toe kick into the side or back. Full end keeps it integrated but without a notch. Separate toe will make the toe kick part separate, whereas none will maintain the toe kick height but without a toe kick piece. Finally, accessories will list non-cabinet parts for viewing and hiding. The right-hand area provides both the 3D preview as well as additional wireframe controls. The first button at the top allows you to switch between 3 viewing modes. Wireframe is a full color scheme with a slider at the bottom, allowing you to change the cabinet's transparency level. Black and white makes the cabinet fully solid, but in a monochromatic color scheme. Solid is also fully solid, but with a full color spectrum. Show processing enables and disables the rendering of holes, dados, and miter joints in the 3D view. Show connectors does the same, but for the joint connectors like shelf pins, screws, and dowels. Select Views scrolls through the different standard perspectives, as well as changing the face you are editing. Open Doors opens and closes moving objects within the cabinet, be it doors, drawers, internal rollouts, rollout shelves, or other kinetic elements. Front sections and inside sections are the submenus you can access to add, delete, or move elements within and without the cabinet. The first to look at is the Inside Sections. Clicking this button will change the 3D view to a cross-sectional representation of the cabinet. Here, you may select the interior elements and the spaces between them, directly in the right column to reveal their attributes in the middle column. To add a new element, select an opening and look to its attributes. At the top, there are 3 buttons: Add Vertical, Add Horizontal, and Delete. Click Add Vertical to split the space in 2 with a vertical element. Click Add Horizontal to do the same, but with a horizontal piece. To delete an element, select its cross-section, look to its attributes, and click Remove. There are 3 ways to move an element. The first is by manually clicking and dragging directly on the cabinet. The second is through the Position attribute. Select the shelf element and look to the position value. This represents the ratio between the space below the element relative to the overall vertical space that it occupies. 0% makes it flush to the bottom element. 100% makes it flush to the top. 25% puts it at a quarter of the way up, 75% the opposite, and 50% places it in the middle between the upper and lower boundaries. The third is through changing an opening's width and height. Select the opening above the shelf and change its height. This will automatically move the bottom boundary to enact the indicated change. If the bottom boundary is the bottom of the cabinet, the top boundary is moved instead. The same applies to vertical interior parts, except the position value is a ratio of the space to its left relative to the horizontal space it occupies. And vertical elements are moved by changing the opening width, prioritizing changes to the right boundaries. The final control within the Inside section lies at the top of the Attributes panel, Show Hidden Elements, which will show or hide hidden front elements so that you may coordinate the placement of interior parts. Front Sections works in much the same way as Inside Sections, but the elements are defined by the openings between the splits rather than as the divisions themselves. Select an opening to see the element and its attributes in the middle column. To add an element, split an existing one with either a vertical or horizontal division. This will automatically add a mid-style or mid-rail in that position when working with framed cabinets. To delete elements, select Splits and click Remove. Move front elements by either clicking and dragging divisions or by numerically resizing openings. If a front part has either a drawer front or a door panel, you may check its door size directly in the attributes. You can reveal hidden frame parts or hidden interior parts by using the appropriate checkboxes at the top area. Show frame parts for a more accurate representation within frame cabinetry. This reveals that the front divisions really represent the boundaries assigned to the front part, rather than the actual door or drawer front. The front element's width and height are used with the applied reveal or overlay settings to get the actual door size. This is why there is a secondary set of dimensions called opening width and opening height. This is the same as width and height in frameless construction, but represents the frame-to-frame dimensions in framed cabinets. You may edit front elements by either method. Note that when making adjustments to either the front or the interior of the cabinet, the alterations will not be automatically applied to the other and will require manual alterations to match. All added constituent parts will become available for alteration within the cabinet constituent parts list available to the left when you return to the cabinet preview with the wireframe mode. The final icon, Add to Drawings, will add the custom cabinets to the Drawings module for report creation purposes. Once you have made all the appropriate alterations, make sure to use the floppy disk Save icon to save the cabinet alterations. If you attempt to leave the module without saving, a dialog box will appear asking if you would like to save the modifications created. Click Yes to save the modified cabinet, or click No to dismiss or cancel the modifications and return to either the Design or Catalog module. With CAB Builder's Wireframe Editor, you have the ability to create and customize cabinets for every customer's need.